Welcome to the Deeper Thinking podcast. AI's biggest disruption yet? DeepSeek R1 has shattered expectations in the AI world. Developed by a small Chinese lab, it claims to rival the most advanced AI models, yet was trained for just $5 million. Even more shocking, it's completely open source. If true, this challenges the billion-dollar AI economy, where power has been concentrated in the hands of tech giants. Now, startups, researchers, and even smaller nations could compete. But is this a true breakthrough, or is there more to the story? Has China quietly leapfrogged the US in AI, or is this a strategic move to upend AI development as we know it? In an industry dominated by billion-dollar investments, where companies like OpenAI, Google, and Meta spend enormous amounts on training ever more advanced systems, DeepSeek R1 appears to have broken all the rules. It is a state-of-the-art AI model, reportedly trained for only $5 million, a fraction of what its competitors spend, and yet it performs at a level that challenges some of the most advanced proprietary systems. More significantly, it is completely open source, meaning anyone can access and use it. This combination of cost efficiency and unrestricted availability has sent shockwaves through an industry that has long assumed AI development requires vast financial resources. The implications of this are enormous. If AI models like DeepSeek R1 can be built at a fraction of the cost previously thought necessary, then the entire business model of AI could change. For years, companies have justified massive spending on AI infrastructure, believing that sheer scale and computational power are what separate good AI from great AI. If a small company with significantly fewer resources has managed to produce something competitive with the best models available, then the biggest players in the field might be forced to rethink their approach. The assumption that only those with billions to spend can dominate AI development is now under question. Skepticism has naturally followed. Some believe DeepSeek R1's creators, a relatively unknown Chinese research lab, may not be revealing the full picture. There is speculation that they had access to far more computing power than they claim, potentially through undisclosed sources. Others suggest that they may have discovered a radically more efficient way to train AI models, one that eliminates unnecessary computational waste and allows for powerful results without the previously assumed costs. If this is true, then DeepSeek R1 may not just be a breakthrough in cost efficiency, but a technological leap that could change how AI is developed worldwide. There is also a geopolitical dimension to this development. The United States has worked to limit China's access to the most powerful AI chips, believing that restricting hardware would slow down the country's AI progress. DeepSeek R1 suggests that this strategy may not be working. If a Chinese AI lab has been able to develop something this advanced despite restrictions, it could mean that China's AI capabilities are further ahead than many previously assumed. It also raises the possibility that China is pursuing a strategy different from the West, not relying on brute force computing power, but instead focusing on efficiency and algorithmic improvements. If this is the case, the United States and its allies may need to rethink how they approach AI competition. Beyond the international rivalry, the release of DeepSeek R1 raises another fundamental question. Should AI development remain locked behind corporate paywalls, or should it be open and accessible to all? The largest AI companies have pushed toward keeping their most powerful models proprietary, offering them only through paid access and under strict control. DeepSeek R1 challenges this trend by making an advanced model freely available. This could accelerate innovation, allowing smaller players, researchers, and startups to build on it without the financial barriers imposed by major corporations. However, it also brings risks. If powerful AI models are available to anyone, they could be misused. The balance between openness and security is now a critical issue, and DeepSeek R1 forces that debate into the forefront. The AI industry now faces a moment of reckoning. If DeepSeek R1's creators are telling the truth about their costs, then AI research has just become far more accessible than anyone imagined. If they are exaggerating, then questions arise about the motives behind their claims and what their long-term strategy might be. Either way, the impact is already being felt. Investors in AI companies that have spent billions are now questioning whether those investments were necessary. policymakers are reconsidering how they regulate AI development. Engineers and researchers around the world are studying DeepSeek R1 to understand whether it represents a real breakthrough or something less revolutionary than it seems. Regardless of where the truth lies, DeepSeek R1 marks a turning point. It's a seismic shift in the global AI landscape. In one move, it has disrupted an industry where billion-dollar budgets were thought to be essential. By delivering cutting-edge performance at a fraction of the cost and making it open source, it challenges everything we assumed about AI development, power, and accessibility. The implications are immediate and far-reaching. If AI of this caliber can be built cheaply, the era of AI exclusivity may be over. Startups, researchers, and smaller nations could now compete with tech giants. The entire AI economy, built on expensive proprietary models, could be forced to adapt. At the same time, it raises major questions. Did DeepSeek truly achieve an efficiency breakthrough, or did they have hidden access to vast computing resources? If the US strategy of restricting AI chips to China didn't stop the creation of a model like R1, does that mean the next AI arms race will be about efficiency, not scale? Beyond geopolitics, DeepSeek R1 forces a choice. Should AI remain behind corporate walls, or should it be free and open to all? If AI becomes as accessible as open source software, innovation will accelerate, but so will the risks of misuse. Governments now face an urgent question. How do you regulate AI when its most powerful tools are available to anyone? One thing is certain, the rules of AI have changed. Whether DeepSeek R1 is an authentic breakthrough, an economic disruptor, or a geopolitical move, its impact is unstoppable. The next battle is not just about who can build AI, but who controls its future. The shock to global markets is only the beginning of a broader reckoning. Investors, policymakers, and technologists now face an urgent question. If AI can be built cheaper, faster, and more openly, what does that mean for the future of innovation, regulation, and global power dynamics? The implications extend far beyond stock markets. The idea that AI progress requires an ever-increasing investment in high-end chips is now being actively challenged. DeepSeek has demonstrated that clever algorithmic optimization can compensate for hardware limitations, a shift that could rewrite the economics of AI development. If this model proves sustainable, companies may need to rethink their AI infrastructure spending. The race for larger, more expensive training clusters could give way to a more streamlined, efficiency-driven approach, leveling the playing field for smaller firms and research institutions that were previously priced out of high-end AI development. For the United States, the launch of DeepSeek is not just a financial event, but a strategic inflection point. The restrictions on AI chips imposed on China were intended to slow its progress, yet DeepSeek's success suggests that the constraints may have backfired. Instead of stalling China's AI growth, these sanctions have incentivized a push for self-sufficiency. If China can develop cutting-edge AI without access to the latest American hardware, then Washington's policy of technological containment may need urgent reassessment. The lesson for US policymakers is that AI development cannot be stopped with hardware restrictions alone. Innovation will find a way. The open-source nature of DeepSeek's AI also presents a major industry shift. While OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft have sought to commercialize and tightly control their models, DeepSeek has positioned itself as an AI platform that anyone can use and modify. This approach disrupts the existing power dynamics in AI research, allowing independent developers and small businesses to access state-of-the-art AI without the costs associated with proprietary models. The result could be an acceleration of AI adoption across industries, unshackled from the dominance of a few Western tech giants. If more AI firms follow suit, this could mark a turning point where AI moves from a closed, centralized ecosystem to a more open, decentralized one. The financial fallout from DeepSeek's emergence is still unfolding. The $1 trillion wiped off the Nasdaq underscores the fragility of AI-driven market speculation. For years, AI investment has been built on the assumption that only a handful of firms could develop and control the technology. But DeepSeek's breakthrough calls that assumption into question, introducing a new level of uncertainty. If AI can be developed at a fraction of the cost previously assumed, how much of the current AI market's value is justified? Goldman Sachs' warning last year about excessive AI spending is now looking prophetic as investors scramble to reassess risk and reward in an industry that suddenly seems far less predictable. Venture capitalists and corporate leaders now face difficult decisions. The prevailing wisdom was that AI required billion-dollar data centers and an insatiable demand for high-performance chips. But DeepSeek's model suggests that smarter algorithms can offset the need for expensive hardware. If this approach gains traction, firms that have bet heavily on AI infrastructure may find themselves over-leveraged. At the same time, smaller players who have been priced out of AI development may see new opportunities, reshaping the competitive landscape in ways that were unimaginable just weeks ago. The geopolitical ramifications are equally profound. AI has long been framed as the next frontier of global power, with Washington and Beijing locked in a high-stakes competition for dominance. DeepSeek's emergence signals that China may not only be catching up, but potentially overtaking the United States in key aspects of AI efficiency. The fact that DeepSeek has achieved this breakthrough despite US export controls suggests that China's AI ecosystem is more resilient than many Western analysts previously believed. This could force a major recalibration of AI strategy in Washington, where policymakers must now consider whether their current approach to AI competition is effective or in need of urgent revision. The response from US tech leaders has been muted, but the pressure is already mounting. NVIDIA, Google, and Microsoft must now prove that their AI investments remain justifiable in a world where a Chinese competitor has demonstrated similar capabilities at a fraction of the cost. For NVIDIA in particular, this is an existential moment. The company has built its dominance on the idea that AI models require an ever-growing demand for its chips. But if DeepSeek's efficiency-first approach gains traction, NVIDIA's entire business model could face a fundamental challenge. Donald Trump's remarks about DeepSeek being a wake-up call highlight the broader stakes at play. The United States has led the AI revolution largely because of its control over cutting-edge hardware and massive corporate investment. But if DeepSeek represents the beginning of a new paradigm where AI can be developed with fewer resources and greater accessibility, then the AI arms race may not be won by sheer financial power alone. The focus may shift towards software innovation, algorithmic efficiency, and adaptability, areas where smaller, more agile companies can compete more effectively. The open-source nature of DeepSeek's AI could also trigger a broader industry shift toward transparency and collaboration. Historically, AI research has been split between open access models like Meta's Llama and closed proprietary systems like OpenAI's GPT models. If DeepSeek's approach proves viable, it could tilt the industry toward more open development, forcing even the largest AI firms to reconsider their business strategies. This could lead to a democratization of AI, where the benefits are distributed more widely rather than concentrated in the hands of a few tech monopolies. Academics and industry experts are already weighing in on the significance of this moment. Many see it as a validation of the idea that AI doesn't have to be locked behind paywalls and billion-dollar budgets. If DeepSeek's success encourages more AI firms to open their models to the public, it could accelerate the pace of AI development worldwide, sparking a new wave of innovation that is less dependent on corporate investment cycles. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Deeper Thinking podcast, an audio essay read by me, Holly, your digital narrator. To learn more about the subjects covered today, check out the links in the show notes. Until next time.